It came out today. The book came out today. Yay! I am just so excited. I don't even know what to say right now. Like, cause I've been working on this for like 3 years, right? And when I did a bunch of media tour in November, December, and January, and the book wasn't even out yet. And they're like, my husband's like, is this book really out? Like, you're going out doing these TV shows and all this stuff. I'm like, yes, it's coming out. But I did a pre-order in November, and today was the day it actually came on Amazon. So how exciting is this? Yeah, international. We were actually international bestseller in Australia. In Canada, so very, very excited. Someone just a minute ago was telling me about maybe David. Who knows David? All right. David, you're fine. David is in my book.
Hell he is.
Yeah, he's in my book. He's on chapter 12.
I'm surprised you got him.
Yeah, and he doesn't even know yet. So do not tell him because I'm going to order these and I want to send him a signed copy.
All right, I'll see him tomorrow.
I know you're probably going to tell him. It's hard, right?
No.
So I have your answers to diabetes. And did you know his story? Did you know? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And that's probably why you're here tonight. I don't know why you're here.
No, I didn't know you.
No, you didn't even know he was here.
No.
Oh, he's referred so many patients here because of his life story of getting off type 1 diabetes, which is amazing, off his insulin.
Yeah.
So, what's your why? Why do I make you guys come and listen to me speak? I don't know, right? What do I got to say? Who am I, right? Who am I? Who am I, 10 years old, riding a brand new pink bicycle? And who would have thought that having that bike accident messed up my life so much, but then led me to getting better to help other people? I couldn't breathe. It was very scary having asthma and allergies, busting out my teeth, right? And going in the medical profession, all they knew what to do was to what? Give me drugs to breathe. So here I am living on breathing machines, living on inhalers all the time, going back and forth to the hospital multiple times. 6th grade, probably missed, I think it was 57 days of school of 6th grade, going back and forth into the hospital. And then so my parents were like, we got to figure out how she's having so many asthma attacks. What can we do? So we did some allergy testing. Found out I was allergic to everything. You get those allergy tests on the skin and you're like, oh great, so I can't go outside anymore and I can't eat anything and they're just going to put me in a bubble because they didn't want me to have asthma attacks. That's how it was. That's how they wanted me to live. And so they're like, the solution was, well, let's do allergy shots twice a week for the rest of your life, basically. I think that was the plan. And you're not going to really see results till like a year, 2 years down the road. So that's what my parents knew. They didn't know any other way. I mean, I went to the best asthma and allergy specialist in North Carolina. And by the way, Charlotte, I looked it up, is the 2nd worst state to have like asthma and allergies because it's, obviously the 4 seasons. But it's really high to have allergies. The 2nd state. The first one's Tennessee. And then North Carolina, number 2. So, yeah, we have a lot of kids with asthma and allergies. And I wrote this book because I want to inspire, not just with asthma and allergies, but like I said, I got someone with diabetes. I mean, I have literally traced down to every element we're facing because we can't breathe properly. And I have written a book specifically about that. So here I am, can't breathe. Now I'm 12 years old, been doing, I hated, and I say, hey, I hated going to get my shots. That was fun as a kid, going twice a week to get your shots. That's lovely, yeah, fantastic. So I did that for 2 years, till 6th grade, 7th grade. Guess what? I was getting worse. They weren't fixing anything. And I kept getting worse. Oh, well, we need to take her tonsils out. So let's yank those out, right? Let's yank all of this out, which they did. They yanked all this out. And they fed me ice cream, which I mentioned on this particular video. But one of my worst asthma attacks was eating lasagna and having ice cream. I was in the hospital for a week with that. Later to find out, I was highly allergic to ice cream, dairy. Dairy's so inflammatory to my sinuses, but they never told me that. Never. Not one doctor told me that. So here I am, really, really, really sick. So my uncle, guys. My uncle is the coolest uncle ever. Amazon John. He's married to Olivia Newton-John, which even makes him even more cooler. You heard Olivia Newton-John, you know what I'm talking about. She's a singer, blah, blah, blah. She's really cool. So she's on the back of my book. I had to bug her quite a few times to read my book. I'm like, Olivia, you're famous. I need your sentence on the back of my book. Her and John. All right, so John would come in from Florida. Or actually, he would come in from the Amazon jungle. Because in the 80s, when natural healing and herbs really was not cool, he found it to be really cool. Because actually what happened with him, really neat story, he got into furs and rocks. And he was in the Amazon, basically jungle, just finding furs and rocks. And he would come back to Charlotte, because he's from Charlotte, and he would sell them on the street. He's selling furs and rocks, guys. I have no idea how he got this passion. He just got this passion. Well, he's in the jungle, and he gets deathly ill. Such a neat story, right? So he gets deathly ill. These Indians find him in the jungle. And like, here he is thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Like, they have the spears. I'm talking like this is a movie. So they get him, and they start giving him some herbs. And he feels the best he has ever felt in his life. And he said, here I am getting the treasure from the rocks, the plants. That's where the treasure is. So he changed his whole way of everything, started learning the plants, started learning the herbs, started learning different things, remedies that they were doing, different remedies for this and that. So he started learning their formulas. And he got a passionate to help other people. This is like in the early 80s. So he would come home to visit on a Christmas. Here I am breathing in this nasty steroid breathing machine and inhalers and all this other junk. And he would make me these wonderful herbs and these teas with eucalyptus, which I mentioned. And so, he's like, Corinne, don't go to the hospital. Start using some of this. And he just got me thinking. That was the first sign of like, hey, I'm like 12 years old. I actually I put a kitchen towel over my head and breathe in this eucalyptus. And that saved me from going back and forth to the hospital. So then he made some teas, and I'll start drinking some teas. And right then I started thinking, there's something to this. And he knew bread was bad. He knew bread was horrible. He would get that bunny bread. You know what I'm talking about, the bunny bread? The good old bunny bread. What's wrong with the good old white bunny bread? And he would come to our house and squish it into a ball. And he said, Corinne, do not eat this. And I'm like, why? It's so good. Like, I have sandwiches. Like, and he would tell me early on. He didn't know really why. He just knew it was bad. And this was before we even really knew what all these chemicals and stuff are. And here they are dumping chemicals in all of our food. Here I am getting sicker. Here I am starting to have seizures. All of these health problems started going. He opened the eyes to me. So he's going to visit Olivia in California. And he didn't really know the story until I started writing the book. But anyway, so he got in a car accident and fractured his spine. So here I am now. I am 16 years old, and we went to go visit John in Florida. And here he is laying on the couch, my awesome John that I love, my uncle. He's laying there really, really hurt, doesn't want to take any pain meds because he's totally against all of that, right? And so he's just using herbs and stuff. And so he's laying on his couch, and he had me do like recover. He had something called Recovers on. I don't know exactly, probably Ann knows what kind of herbs are in. So they started putting some herbs on his back. And my family was like, went to the beach because we're on vacation, and I couldn't leave him. I was like, I don't want to go on the beach. Like, I want to help my uncle. Like, I had this desire to help people. Like, I wanted to help people. Like, you know, when you help somebody, it just feels good. And you're like, I just want to do this. So he asked me to work on his spine, and I did. And he got up, and he felt the best. He said, you need to be a chiropractor. You've got a healing gift with your hands. I'm like, okay, John, that sounds good. Maybe I should do that. I remember these guys. Yeah, so I started really looking into that. I wanted to be a doctor. I just didn't know what kind of doctor. My great-grandfather's a doctor. I have a lot of nurses in my family. They wanted me to be a doctor. My grandmother, when I told her I was going to be a chiropractor, can you imagine the look at her face? Like, why can't you be a real doctor? Like, that's not even a real doctor. I mean, that's, you know, still. I mean, we still fight that. But you know what? We are really rising. As natural preventative medicine, I was able to get preventative medicine #1 bestseller. A chiropractor. We're changing things. We're starting to change things, which is good. We're going to shake it up a little bit. I love it. So my why, you know, what's your why? We have to have have a why to do anything, you know, passionate about life. I needed to feel better. I was sick of being sick all the time. And I didn't even knew as a kid taking those drugs was messing me up. And I wasn't right. Couldn't think straight. I mean, just your whole body is just not right when you're on a lot of medication. And we know that. But that was the only thing I knew to even make it through the day, right? Because I lived on the inhaler. And so I started learning the philosophy of chiropractic. And it made sense to me that, goodness gracious, when I was 10 years old, when I had that bike accident and knocked my head, my health started going down. No one put that together. No one put together that head trauma caused my asthma and allergies. I just had a head trauma, I got sick, and then I just kept it. They never said, maybe there's a link. Maybe your head is not on straight. You know, that's very possible. My head was very messed up. My spine was in a reverse curve, very messed up. So I thought, wow, if I get my spine corrected, I might can see some change. That was like, maybe there's something to this. So I went to chiropractic school, didn't go to chiropractor. I went into the school with the philosophy, I love natural healing, teach me all you can, I want to help people get off their drugs, even myself. Can you get me off my drugs first? And so I met Dr. Steve Conicello, who practices in Pennsylvania, and he knew about upper cervical. Upper cervical is a different type of chiropractic that focuses on the upper spine. And so he's like, you don't need to get adjusted any other way. You need to learn upper cervical. You actually need to get an upper cervical adjustment and see what the difference is. And I'm like, I don't know. Let's do it. Sure, let's do it. Because he actually was raised with upper cervical chiropractic. That changed his life. He had irritable bowel syndrome and stuff like that. So I got that adjustment. And I was like, what in the world did you just do to me? Kind of thing. I laid back in the back of the room because half of our office is designed to rest and relax. Because that's a big part of healing. We have to sleep, we have to relax. So the doctor that adjusted me made me rest for an hour. He's like, you're gonna lay here, you're not gonna move, you're gonna stay here for an hour. And I'm like, okay. And things started happening to my body that I can't even describe. And I can start breathing. Now, knowing what I know, I understand the mechanism. And I go over in my book, the upper cervical area of your spine, there's something called a vagus nerve, which controls a part of your nervous system that helps you rest, relax, digest your food, and breathe. Control it here. So I got that at correction, and I was like, what did you just do to me? Because I want to learn what you just did. And this was a doctor that's been doing it for years. He's in my book too, of course. I had to give him credit. Amazing, amazing. So that kind of led my journey. So here I am now at 21, and I got under care, and I was able to throw away all my medication within a year. It did take a year for me to feel comfortable getting rid of that inhaler in my pocket. Because I'm telling you, that inhaler was like my safety net. I mean, when you have asthma and you can't breathe, and it is so freaking scary that you're going to die any moment, it's right there. I always have my backup, it's right there. So, my why is when I got pregnant, I wanted my kids to not suffer like I did with taking drugs. That was my why. So when I got pregnant, I said I want to be under care, I want to do everything it takes because I do not want him to have drugs. And he's 14, almost 15, and the two girls never, not one medication their whole entire life. I'm like, do you know how awesome that is? They don't realize how awesome that is, that we don't even have a medicine cabinet. They don't even know what medicine is. They have no idea what drugs are. And I remember Noah asking me, he's like, my friend is taking this medication, like, what is that? And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to stay away from that stuff. I mean, we teach our kids to say no to drugs, right? And then we give them all these drugs to try to fix all their problems, and it's not fixing anything. It's changing this thing, and another thing's happening. It's always altering something in the system. I always get down to what is the cause? What's the cause of what caused that? And let's get that to the bottom line, right? So anyway, I got off my medication, and so I hated the hospital. I didn't want to go to the hospital to have the kids, so I had them at home. which is crazy, right? I'm a crazy person, I know. And people look at me and they're like, you had a baby like with no drugs at home. Well, I trained to do that, you know, and I was with the good, I mean, I was with people, guys, really cool. I was in chiropractic school. You have to remember, these people are cool. Like, they think differently, outside the box. Hundreds of students that have been raised with no drugs. I'm talking about, I'm like, what? You never had? No, because my mama does a chiropractor, and I wouldn't have drugs. I mean, these were, and I'm like, what? So it was just really started opening the door, like, wow, you can survive without medication, without vaccinations? How are you still alive? I mean, I was raised, you had a problem, you open that medicine cabinet and you take that pill and everything's gonna be okay. And I realize now, wow, we were brainwashed. That's the way we were, I mean, it's brainwashing.